Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Hanuman Prasad Pandiri. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering (IARE), located at Dundigal. The topic today I am going to discuss is from Module 3, Gender and Labor. And the name of the topic is Informal as well as Formal Sectors, Part 2. The contents from this topic that I am going to discuss in this session are revision of women in informal sector, formal and organized sector, and women in formal sector. Finally, I will end up with references. Okay. Let's see all the contents in detail. The first content, revision of women in informal sector. As I discussed already in the previous session, women form an important part of informal economy. Important part of informal economy. In almost all countries, both in terms of number of women engaged and in terms of contribution to the output of informal economy. Okay. Given the nature of activities such as home based, street vending, other self employment ventures, and women's contribution in informal sector may get underestimated because it is not of much income compared to the formal sector. That is why these are underestimated, but which is completely wrong. Okay, every small piece of work should be respected. So that is what we have to understand from gender sensitization. Every work is equally important. Like both men and women are equally important. The same way, all types of works are equally important. For example, farming, which is very, very, very important, without which we cannot get proper food. So, small things are very, very crucial to lead the big things. Okay, without the smooth running of small things, big things cannot be performed, big things cannot be supported. Okay, so you can understand how crucial the small things in supporting the big things. Okay, in India, women comprise about one third of the working force. Women comprise one third of the working force, means 33% of the working force. The number of women workers employed in the unorganized or informal sector is higher in rural areas than in urban areas. In urban areas, those women working in formal sector or organized sector are more. But those working in informal sector are less. Whereas in rural areas, the women working in formal sector is less. Whereas those working in informal sector or unorganized sector is more. Okay. So because of the progress, because of the development of the area, so if the development is more, then they will have the employment in formal sector, more opportunities. And if the development is less, they will have the more employment opportunities in informal sector. Because after the development of informal sector only, the formal sector will arise. As I told, the small things plays crucial role in establishing the big things. So never and ever estimate small things because those are very crucial in establishing the large things. Please keep it in the mind. A majority of the women in rural areas work in the agriculture sector, means primary sector. As you know that There are three types of employment: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Primary sector belongs to agricultural field, secondary sector belongs to manufacturing field, and tertiary sector belongs to service related field. Okay, let's look at the continuation as part of revision. In urban areas, women are engaged in a variety of occupations like petty trades. What are the petty trades? For example, vegetable sellers, flower sellers, ironing workers, and construction workers, and domestic maids, etc. Okay, these are more in urban areas as part of informal or unorganized sector. Since most of the activities in the unorganized sector or informal sector generally require less skill and education according to the society, but it is not so really. It may require less education, but it requires more skill, without which you cannot communicate and you cannot expand your business in a proper way. And are of a traditional nature, a significant proportion of women workers in India are in this sector. Okay, so most of the women are in this sector. This sector means informal or unorganized sector. In urban areas, over 80% women are working in the unorganized or informal sector. Then, if you see rural areas, maybe 90 or more than 90% are working in informal sector. Okay, in urban areas itself, 80% women are working in unorganized or informal economy. Means in rural areas, more than this, about 90% are working in informal sector. Whereas earnings are extremely low because the incomes are low and capitals are low. So earnings are obviously extremely low. And hours of working is long. It's not mean that hours of working is less, so earning is less. It's not like that. Hours of working is too much, but the earning is low. Okay. Since they are managing more time to work, they are at least earning little bit. But if they could not manage long time for working, then they could not earn much. They could not earn sufficient as per their capital also. Okay. So it is like that. Working hours is long and earning is less. There is no paid leave, no medical insurance because it is their own business. No paid leave, no medical insurance. If something happens, some injury happens, they are only responsible. Okay, or pension is also not eligible, and any other social security benefits are applicable to them. The women working in informal sector are very, very, very sympathetic, are in pathetic situation because none of the things that are applicable in formal sector are not applicable in informal sector, as they are running their own business as a part of informal sector, like no paid leaves, no medical insurance, no pension, no other social security benefits. Working in the informal economy often becomes hazardous for undernourished women workers, especially for children and adolescents. For children and youth, adolescents means youth, undernourished women workers means those who do not have proper nutrients. Hmm, those who are not uh, having enough money to have proper food. Forget about rich or poor. Those who are not having, obviously they are less than poor. They could not afford at least food which have minerals for the growth of their body. So that kind of food is called undernourished food, and those women workers are called undernourished women workers. Okay, so these are the problems that are facing by women in informal or unorganized sector. Okay, and let's see the continuation. Women contribute significantly to the national economic growth as also to family welfare through working as home based workers in household industries, domestic workers, petty trades, services, construction sector, etc. As I explained, household industries, domestic workers, petty trades like vegetable sellers, flower sellers, ironing, etc. Homemaids and services, construction sector, etc. So women are contributing significantly in these fields, okay, which are related to family welfare. Okay, and yet even though they are doing these many things, since those are underestimated according to society, especially in the olden days, their contribution is not adequately recognized. Not adequately recognized means their contribution is not properly recognized. Their gender specific problems are not adequately addressed. So their gender specific problems means as women they have a lot of limitations. So those problems are not adequately addressed. Okay. So they have to solve themselves. Government or nobody will help them. Okay, but nowadays at least some schemes are there which are supporting those people with economic support. Okay, and so that is why I am always used to saying that in the current era, gender sensitization is achieved in most of the fields, but gender sensitization is yet to be achieved in some other fields. So that is why it is yet to be achieved to 100%. So we can say that 75 to 80% has been achieved. Okay, and they remain largely unorganized, unheard, largely unorganized, not normally unorganized, largely unorganized, unheard. Nobody will hear those problems. Those are underpaid. Means, as they work, they will get money. That too for long time and less earnings and underrepresented. So nobody will say loudly in the society. They are underrepresented. Oh, like one kind of underestimation. But as I told, without small things running smoothly, big things cannot be established. Please keep it in the mind. Okay, let's continue to the next content. Formal or organized sector. Constitutional provision of non discrimination, expansion of employment opportunities in secondary and tertiary sectors. So many informal sector related employments correspond to agricultural sector, whereas many formal sector employments correspond to secondary, which means that manufacturing related field, and tertiary, which means that service related field sectors. Okay, secondary and tertiary sectors. Greater opportunities to obtain skill based education and growing pressure on urban middle class families to enhance their family income are some of the prominent factors which led to participation of women in organized sectors in high percentages. Okay, what is the cause that women are especially urban city staying women are participating more in formal sectors because of these reasons. In cities, the cost of living or expenditures are high, so both wife and husband has to have to earn. Means both hands should support for claps. Not only single hand cannot make claps. So in that concept, both wife and husband used to work. Even if children are there, obviously they used to work because from childhood onwards they should know the value of money and all. So in respect of this, so people are earning money to have enough income to support their family members, to support their education and all. In all respects, they have to be in equal temper with men. Okay, that is why women are also equally participating in formal sector, especially in urban areas. But nowadays, the women from rural areas are also participating more in formal sector. Okay, so that is why there were greater opportunities to skill-based education and growing pressure on especially urban middle-class families to enhance their family income. These are prominent factors that led to participation of women in organized sectors in high percentages. In high percentages. Yes, I hope it is clear to everyone. Now, how the women are getting employed in formal sector and what kind of employments they are getting, how they are managing the formal sector, that we will discuss in the next content. Women in formal or organized sector. It is also called organized sector. Okay. Teaching has always been a favored position. Teaching is always favored position or profession for women because it is one of the most compatible profession with women's traditional roles in the society. Why teaching is the favored profession for women? Because it is one of the most compatible professions with women's traditional roles in society. Okay. Shorter working hours is also one of the reasons why women choose teaching as a part of formal sector employment. And vacations along with their own children also work in favor of women's domestic responsibilities. Okay. Shorter working hours is one thing. Second thing is vacations along with their children also work in favor of women's domestic responsibilities. So they can give equal priority to professional as well as personal life because they have to spend shorter working hours in their profession. So that is why teaching is one of the most favored profession or most compatible profession for women as it is in line with women's traditional roles in the society. Okay. Thus, teaching related professions are the most common among the women as part of formal sector. Okay, teaching related professions are most common among the women as part of formal sector. Okay, so in this slide, what we discussed, teaching is the most compatible and favored profession for the women as a part of formal sector because it is in line with their traditional roles in the society. Okay, and let's look at the continuation. In the post liberalization period, increasing number of women is found in tertiary sector. Means after what we can say, relieving period means after 60 years there will be what we can say, um, relieving from the job, right? So in that case, so the number of women increasing in tertiary sector. Okay, there is an increasing number of women is found in tertiary sector means service sector. The professions like information technology (IT) and information technology enabled services (ITES). Okay, so these are the service sector coming under tertiary sector. So after the post liberalization period, after their retirement, the exact word is retirement or relieving from the institution, then they choose tertiary sector like service sector such as information technology and information technology enhanced or information technology enabled services ITES. Okay, so this is after retirement. Okay, as a major proportion of women labor force is employed in the elites activities. Major proportion of women labor is employed in the allied activities of agriculture means primary sector. followed by manufacturing industries and service related sectors. Means most of the women, major proportion of the women are in elite sectors, elite activities of agriculture such as primary sector related employments, followed by manufacturing industries means secondary sector, and service related sectors, okay, means tertiary sector. Service related employments we can say, okay, means tertiary sector. So most of the women, those who are staying in rural areas, will be in primary sector, and most of the women those are staying in urban areas will be in secondary sector. Nowadays both are equally participating in secondary sector, but in primary sector the rural area living women only participating in agriculture sector as a part of primary sector. And service sector is also equally contributed by both, little bit more in rural areas compared to urban areas, okay. So that is what we are discussing here. Thus women working in primary sector are high, those in secondary sector are medium, and those in tertiary sector are low. Because to become tertiary sector employment, to get tertiary sector employment, so they have to complete secondary sector. So that is mostly after post liberalization period or retirement period. They used to prefer tertiary sector, means service sector, okay, because at that time they earn enough money. In service sector they won't get money, so they have to spend their money whatever they have earned be in the job. In the which job? Secondary sector related job, okay, manufacturing industries and formal sectors, these are all, okay. So those money they will spend in services as a part of tertiary sector, okay. So that is why primary sector participating women are more, and secondary sector participating women are medium, whereas tertiary sector participating women are less, okay. And women in formal sector, manufacturing has also been another major source of employment for women. Manufacturing means secondary sector. What is manufacturing? It is a part of secondary sector. So this is also a major source of employment for women, like fertilizer industries, pesticide industries, manufacturing paints, chemical products, dyeing industries, and bleaching of cotton textiles, bleaching industries of cotton textiles, and electric and electronic equipments related industries, and garment manufacturing industries. So the above all are common among women workers. Okay. So those women, those are in formal sector select these kind of jobs, especially in the manufacturing or secondary sector, like fertilizer industries, pesticide industries, manufacturing paint industries, chemical product industries, dyeing industries, and bleaching industries where cotton textiles were used to bleach, and electric industries, electronic equipment industries, garment manufacturing industries are all the part of formal sector which were selected by women. Okay, and the references I followed for this session are Gender Studies by Kadambari, and Gender Sensitization by Rajalakshmi Kalyani, and Unit 1, Block 2 from MWZ 011, page number 1032 to 107, where MWZ is Master of Arts, where the specialization is women and gender sensitization. Women and gender sensitization. Okay, so these are the references I follow. So if you have time, you also please go through these references and have a look at it. Thank you very much for your kind attention. All the very best.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.